My name is Laura, and I'm so thankful that you're here to explore today a breathing technique that is supportive for so many. It has benefits such as calming the nervous system and relaxing the mind, but there are also added physical benefits to this breath work. We will explore today working with the Mula Bandha. So that's referred to as the root lock around the pelvic floor, the area of the perineum. So this can be supportive in not just toning and strengthening the pelvic floor area, but also in our ability to relax the pelvic floor, to soften through that space and release tension that could build up in that area over time. So this breathing technique is very helpful for many people. It's a lovely meditative practice, but it's also really great for those who are enjoying yoga while in pregnancy, yoga and meditation while in pregnancy. So we can find just a beautiful balance of both engaging, activating pelvic floor area, and softening, relaxing through the pelvic floor area, all in sync and in harmony with our breathing. So let's begin. We'll dive right in. It's a very accessible breath work, and I just want to note too that if there are any significant concerns, pelvic floor health concerns that you are managing with your doctor or with a professional, I just want to mention that I'm not a pelvic floor health specialist, so you would defer to their advice first and foremost, listening to the other professionals that have given you specific advice that know your body better than what I would. But if things are in quite a regular sort of place in terms of pelvic floor health, then this breathing technique should be supportive for you. So we can find this breathing technique from seated. After a little while, you might wish to lay back after you've felt that you've isolated the pelvic floor area. But let's start from seated. So I'm actually sitting on a cushion, leaning up against a wall to help me to relax, especially if you are in pregnancy and you're feeling a little bit winded like I am, feeling a little bit short of breath or just lower in energy. That's a nice support. You can even just have a pillow beneath your bum, depending on how you're feeling today, but at one point you might decide to lay back if that's feeling better for you. Good. So as you are arriving in your seat, you might take some time to roll out the shoulders. Or the neck. And to close down through the eyes. Letting your head and neck come back to a neutral position. As you relax the facial expression, relax the neck and shoulders. And begin to welcome the sense of a downward current of energy. It's the presence of a downward current. Much like gravity, but within your being. A very feminine current. A soothing meditative quality that connects us with the earth. And with a felt sense of letting go, releasing and relaxing. You might start to feel and sense this downward current as you breathe out, as you exhale. And as your energy draws downward, as you exhale, notice the effect of the inhalation. You might imagine or sense a rebounding of energy back upward. Maybe you feel like a rise with the inhale. An activating masculine current. Feel the crown of the head drawing upward. Sense the length of your spine. Exhaling, visualizing, sensing the current of apana vayu, the feminine downward current. Inhaling, sensing the presence. Visualizing the upward current of prana vayu. And start to imagine the physical location of the pelvic floor area. You start to build an awareness of this area in your body. And if it's helpful, you might like to rock from left to right side on your sits bones. A little shifting between left and right, and you might imagine those as 2 points. Those sits bones rooting down like you're drawing 2 points, pressing 2 points down toward the earth. And then visualize or sense the pubic bone area. You might lean forward. The tailbone area as you lean back. So if you could find 2 more points. Forward the pubic bone. Backward the tailbone. Forward one more time and then over toward the left sit bone. Back toward the tailbone. Over toward right sit bone. Forward toward pubic bone. Again, like you're tracing a diamond shape between those 4 points. You're connecting them with the movement of your body with this diamond shape. You can go the other way. So from left sit bone to pubic bone to right sit bone, tailbone area. One more time. So you're tracing this diamond shape and start to imagine the center of this diamond. Come back to stillness, but imagine your weight balanced around around that center point, the center of the diamond, the pelvic floor area. Rooting through sits bones, rising through the crown of the head. Begin to deepen your breath. You have an awareness of the breath moving beyond the lungs. Breathing down into the belly and the low ribs. Exhaling fully, lengthening and deepening your breathing. Now, as you breathe in, imagine your breath drawing down and into the body. Feel your body floating up around the breath. As you breathe out, you might imagine the breath drawing up and out of the body, and your body melts down around the breath as it's released. So you receive the breath, it draws in, body floats upward, belly fills. And you release the breath on the exhale, body softens. Breath drawing up and out on the exhale, down and in on the inhale. And now the next time that you breathe in, can you call your attention to relaxing the pelvic floor area, softening through that space. Breath draws down and in, pelvic floor draws downward, relaxes. And then as you exhale, imagine that connected to your diaphragm is a little tether that slightly lifts the pelvic floor, very gently. A gentle lift on the exhale as your diaphragm is rising toward the lungs. Inhale, your diaphragm is lowering down as the lungs fill, and your pelvic floor, you might imagine it lowering, relaxing, smoothing. On the inhale, on the exhale is when the pelvic floor engages gently. You might just imagine that tether attached between the diaphragm and the pelvic floor area. Inhale, belly fills, pelvic floor softens. Exhaling, navel draws inward, pelvic floor draws upward gently, without any tension or stress or strain. A slight lift. Inhale to relax and release. Breath draws up and out of the body on the exhale. Pelvic floor lifts as diaphragm lifts. Breath draws down and into the body. Pelvic floor relaxes as diaphragm lowers. The center of the diamond shape that you've traced in your mind's eye. Slight engagement on the exhale. Softening on the inhale. Keep going, but know that you can rest anytime that you need to. You can simply take deep breaths and be in stillness, connecting with your breath. You might lay back and continue to practice. Inhaling, pelvic floor relaxes. You release Mula Bandha. Exhaling, engage Mula Bandha, the root lock at the Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. Finding the balance between both engaging pelvic floor and relaxing pelvic floor. Just a few more rounds here. Breathing in slowly, deeply. Pelvic floor relaxes. Breathing out fully, completely. Pelvic floor gently lifts and is engaged. You can release that technique now. Allow yourself to breathe naturally. The eyes still closed down. You can notice how you feel. Layering after layering Dirga Pranayama, the full yogic deepened breath, with the activation of Mula Bandha, the root lock. Notice whatever you notice. And when you're ready, you can open the eyes very slowly. Feeling hopefully very grounded, calm, meditative. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore Dirga Pranayama with the layering in of an awareness and engagement of Mula Bandha, the root lock. The practice to help us to contain energy within our energetic anatomy and to enhance the flow of our own vital life force energy, our own prana. But again, this is also a great practice to build awareness of the pelvic floor. It can be very supportive as a prenatal breathing technique, as keeping the pelvic floor strong, but also with the ability to intentionally relax the pelvic floor is very important for prenatal yogis. So I hope that you enjoyed this exploration, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. So if you feel inspired to share with me how you feel at this time after this technique, then please do. I love to hear about that in the comment section. And know that I also have lots of other very beneficial prenatal practices, things from other breathing techniques to meditations, more active flows for strengthening, or more hip, sort of juicy, lubricating, warming practices that are a little bit more gentle. So lots of content on my channel. Please do subscribe and know that there are many ways to continue practicing yoga into pregnancy. Thank you so much for being here today. Namaste.